Hello friends, this is our 7th lecture on Francis Bacon as an essayist. Style, his matter, his manner and his language, the special qualities of his language and so on. Yesterday the last class we were thinking about the proverbs translated as well as boldly lifted from foreign language. I think now it's clear to you. But as I already I pointed out yesterday, the bulk of the proverbs in English, because proverbs he quotes from foreign language also. That's why in English we say. Throughout the essays are quoted from the wisdom of the Bible, both Old Testament and New Testament. He was a regular reader of the Bible. The Bible is directly quoted in 34 of the 58 essays. Also his language echoes biblical thoughts. That's another thing. So quotations and also there is an echo of biblical thoughts in his language. He is very familiar with the Bible. His familiarity with the Bible was great and Catholic. Catholic means universal. And in its range as well as in its conduct. What you find is that there is a union of naturalness and dignity in Bacon's essays, which is inimitably his own. Nobody else said. Plain and dignified. He was a regular reader of the Vulgate. Vulgate, I told you, simple translation, St. Jerome's Bible, than the authorized version. King James Bible, authorized by King James. Translation authorized by King James is King James version. So it is thorough knowledge of the Bible, old and new. Biblical thoughts echo in his essays. Quotations, as we have already seen, 34 essays carry quotations direct from the Bible. And then other diction, the style, plain style that he imbibed from the Bible. Essays are the most learned work in English. Bacon's essays are the most learned work in English. You can see, you can read it easily, you can read it and you can understand it. Vocabulary and construction also you will find the biblical language. For example, you have got words like marvel. Marvel means to wonder. Wax means to grow. Profit means to improve. So these words require no explanation to the reader of the authorized version. So also W-I-T-H-E, white, means a willow or a twig of custom and education taken from the story of Samson, the strong man of the Bible. The Bible is translated in plain man's language, common man's language. Folklore also is embedded in Bacon's style. Folklore. For example, twice in Of Friendship Once and Of Nature in Men as second time illustrates the points. For example, I will tell you the rustic's advice of his fellow in anger. The rustic, the uncouth man, the uncultured, the villager, he advises his fellow in anger to cool down. And the method he advises is, see, between two villages, uneducated people, illiterate we can say, to say over the 4 and 20 letters. So this is not folklore. You will find it in 2 essays. One of friendship and the other is of nature in man. So you have got Bible, you have got folklore. Further, the use of curious expressions you can see. For example, you have to turn the cat in the pan, in off cunning. To turn the cat in the pan, that is from off cunning. That means to change sides. See, it is Scottish. From Walter Scott's Old Mortality. Old Mortality. So that is folklore. This you will find in off cunning. Bacon speaks of the falls of business, meaning its chances. Falls of business, F-A-L-L-S, falls of business, meaning chances of business. Simplicity or homeliness, in its fine old sense, is a marked characteristics of Bacon's essays. Bacon's imagery, for example, commonplace imagery. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, some few to be chewed and digested. Common. Kitchen imagery, yes, kitchen. So it is swallowed, tasted, chewed and digested. Chewing gum. You are familiar with that. So there are common things. Language is plain, it's a common man easily can understand. No explanation is required, because any person who has once read the Bible, old and new, or part of it, for him Bacon's essays are very simple. They can read it, as we have already seen. Commonplace imagery, commonplace comparisons. Then you will find suspicions amongst thoughts are like bats amongst birds. They ever fly by night, by twilight. From the essay of suspicion. Birds, bats, twilight. Simple. Speaking about the secure fame of Cicero in Of Vainglory, Bacon says, he says in an almost casual way, that vanity contributed to it. He explains it like this, like and varnish, you use varnish for sealing. So like and varnish that maketh ceilings not only shine but last. So vanity is the what do you call, the function of vanity is like the function of varnish on the ceilings. He was a lifelong student. His mind was poetic. He had a rare gift of seeing analogies in common things. For example, you can see his similes and metaphors are common. A whole body of them come from contemporary spots. Then cards, bowls, horsemanship. He says about a cunning man be able to pack the cards, and yet not play well. A cunning man can pack the cards. It's ideas, but he is unable to play well. He cannot execute. That is play well mean, execute. So cunning men who understand persons, they understand persons rather than matters, are good but in their own alley, not in the marketplace or in public. They are people who can function in their own alley, means in their own space. So these are common expressions that you find in Francis Bacon. So what I have done today, I have summarized here: influence of the Bible, influence of folklore, commonplace comparisons, a lifelong student, not a life student, but a lifelong. So a lifelong student, mind was poetic, then his imagery is common, a rare gift of seeing analogies in common things. Examples I have already given. And the words marvel means wonder, wax grow, profit means improve, white means willow or twigs. And the quotations to say over the 4 and 20 letters. So you find it in Of Friendship and Of Nature in Man. That is from folklore. One rustic advising the other rustic. How to control your anger. To turn the cat in the pan. That is Scottish expression. Means change sides. This you find it in that is called. And then false of business, of cunning. Some books are to be tasted, etc. Of studies, very famous. Suspicions amongst thoughts are like bats. Amongst birds, they ever fly by twilight. That is of suspicion. So I think that is very clear. I think you can also take this down. Isn't it? You need not go anywhere in searching for these things. So these are the main points, 7 points today we discussed, and supporting quotations are here. I hope that you enjoy my classes, and so you should share it with your friends. So it will be this wherever English literature is taught. This is a question, a must question. That is, Bacon as an essayist, or the characteristics of Bacon's style. So I think that this will be very useful to you. This is the 7th lecture. Now one more, 8th, by that we will conclude. Number of lectures is not important. I am taking only 1 or 2 points because I have been advised by my virtual students to be as brief as possible. In fact, I gave 3 lectures on Coleridge's theory of imagination and fancy and imagination. And I had to explain a point. It took some time. I couldn't break it. Then what happened? Some of my virtual students, whom I love very much, all of you, brought to me, "Sir, your lectures are good, but your lectures are too long." Too long. Yes, definitely. I accept that point as far as those lectures are concerned. And I apologize because I couldn't, stop it at a particular point because I was explaining things like that. But you have got the privilege or option, so to say, to 10 minutes you attend, then go for a movie. Afterwards you come and next 10 minutes. You can break, isn't it? You can do it. Although I could not. But after that I am very careful. I have been very careful about length of the essays. That's why this Bacon style now runs into 8 lectures. Hope you are enjoying, you are getting profit out of it. Okay? Profit. So here it is. Profit means improve. Profit, improve. You will improve your language, improve your way of presenting answers and so on. So bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life.